Welcome back, everybody. I'm trying. Welcome back to the Proud Mary podcast. I am Monique J, and my co-host 92 Stag is not here as of now, but we are the podcast that gives you to you nice when we can and rough when we must. I am. If you all don't know anything about me, first I want to welcome you all back. You're coming back. Give you some time to come back. But if you don't know anything about me, I am known for making sure that it is important to me to make sure that I don't allow things to stop me from doing what it is that I want to do. Now, if you have been on this journey with me today, you know that I have attempted to do 3 TikTok lives so far, and they have blocked it and shut it down. And then we just came on here. It froze. Um, and so I am doing doing me right now and making sure that I push through because I don't like I push to people to not allow anything to stop you from doing what it is that you want to do, from being what it is that you want to be, and all of those. So I most definitely would not allow that for me. So we were gonna go through. I was talking about before everything froze, and I will be trying to work on my energy, y'all. So just want y'all to know, because I'm not gonna lie to you either, that I am a little irritated. But because I did want to do this, I'm going to make sure that I do this. Okay. Okay, KK. Let's see, y'all. So I'm trying to, because I can allow you all to come up as well. So I'm gonna try to get let me share the actual link. Share the link with y'all if you want to come up, and you can. So I'm going to share that with you guys. If you want to come up and join the conversation, you are more than welcome to. Maybe you'll help change my spirit, because the little demons been a little busy, but we ain't gonna let them be. So if you want to come on up, and once I pin it, I'll pin it in the chat. If I have not, I got some of our regular people. Please, please, please comment. I will try to make sure. I know how to make people moderators on here. We need to do that most definitely, so that I can make sure that oh shucks. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay, y'all. Oh goodness. We gonna get into this though, y'all. For real, for real. I am not a quitter. I ain't been born one, ain't gonna be one. So I refuse. When I say refuse, to let everything that is trying to make me stop and quit and be irritated. Yes, I am back. I am back. I am not letting it, y'all. I mean it. Okay, so let me give y'all let me put this in here real quick. I'm about to pin the link so you can come up if you want to come up. Let's see. All right. So if you want to join me as I try to decipher and go over the just click the link, it'll let you, and then I'll bring you on in. I don't know why I got these headphones on, because I can't hear nothing out of them, y'all. They ain't serving an ounce of a purpose right now. So I might as well turn that off. I think I'll be able to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this back up here. You said, trying to keep Proud Mary from being great, but Shaheed, look, let me tell you something. Well, you done been on here with me enough. But when I tell y'all, when I was froze, If you could have seen my face, if y'all could have seen my face, I was just like, I am not. I promise I will not let you make me be like you trying to make me be right now, because I was really frustrated. I'm like, I can't believe this. We've been doing too much. We already been, well, we ain't been, we I think we've been gone and down for about 4 weeks. And we know our manager had, when we started this, we had a great, the idea is great. We're gonna keep it up. And we did a good 6 months, and nothing happened. Everything was going good. And then in true, world and life fashion, stuff tried to come up and stop us from, something came up that made us have to freeze and breathe for a minute. And but I just refuse to that just ain't in my blood, y'all. I'm sorry. It is not in me to be a quitter or someone who gives up on myself or anything or anybody else, especially anybody that I care about. So I was not gonna let that happen. So with that being said, we wanted to do this live. If you, like I said, if you want to request up, you can. If you don't worry about it. I know I generally can hold my own. I would love Stag to be here, but like I said, she has some things. It's been a lot going on. Whew, it's been a lot going on since we've been here. What we got, y'all? We got the Operation Epic Fury. We have gas prices up. Today I was so I don't know if you guys seen it. I'm gonna pull it up before I get to talking about this real quick. Did you guys hear about the man who in Shreveport, Louisiana, who's killed 8 children? And from what I hear, the children actually what all the children may be his, from what I'm understanding. Supposed to be something domestic with it going on. I don't know what in the world would ever make you want to take out all of your children. But I'm gonna just tell y'all, I have been talking about this. I feel like these people who did that jabby jab, that shot it, because ever since then, I mean, we've had some weirdos in this world, but I don't know about y'all, but I feel like it is more crazy people since si- since we took this shot. I'm just saying. It's been more crazy people since we took this shot. Well, not we, because I ain't take it, but the people who did since y'all took since y'all took that shot. Did y'all take that shot? Put in the chat if y'all took that shot. Did y'all let them people convince y'all? I didn't, but I can promise y'all, eh, I ain't seen people been in their right mind since then. Yeah, who was that said it's sad? It's sad. It's really, really sad. You said I paid $3.95 a gallon for diesel. For diesel? Wow. Where you at paying that much? Where was you at? I literally, it's so crazy. Oh, in Georgia. It's so crazy you say that. I just came from going to get me something to eat, y'all. No, if you're new here, you're watching, I don't be cooking unless I got to. I get something to eat out all the time. But however, I looked and I saw my gas. The regular fuel was 3.39, and the diesel was 4.55, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, 4.99, 4.99. I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Oh my god, that is high." And so that's you doing good, because here in Texas, it is literally 4.99, and that was 4.99 at a place that I know is cheaper than at the truck stop. So you doing real good. Just know that you winning. Um, but yeah, I was gonna try to see if I could find that real quick and show a little bit about the Shreveport situation. I don't know, y'all. People are really losing it, and I really believe that 10 years from now, it's going, I don't want to say 10 years, maybe 5 years from now, it's gonna be a commercial saying, "Did you get this C-19 shot? Um, did you get it? Well, are you experiencing this manic, any of those things?" And it's gonna turn out that it's because of that shot. So I pray none of the people I care about really got it. I really do, because I mean, I'm even if you did, I'm gonna also claim that you're not you're not gonna be affected in that way though. It ain't gonna get rid of you like that. But let me pull this up. I'm gonna see y'all real quick. Let's see if you haven't heard the story. I'm gonna share it with you real quick. Let's get it. See, this is what happened when you the super producer. You the super producer for yourself. Okay, let's see, y'all. Let's see. Can y'all hear? No sound. Hold on. Says side effects just like medication. Let's see, y'all. It said no sound. Let's see. Did it mute? Okay, tell me if you can hear something now. You can hear me, right? Tell me if you can hear something. Can't hear. Okay, I got you. Y'all know. See, when it was me and Stag, I had all this set up right. Uh, let's see. Shit. It look, my little system then you said, I know you can hear me. I'm trying to figure out why you can't hear the audio. It says use echo. Oh, yeah. You're supposed to be able to hear me, y'all. Oh, wait, that might be it. Okay, tell me if y'all can hear it real quick after this. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear the video now? Okay. No, I don't know. Okay, see y'all. This what happened when you be trying to be fancy. That's all I'm gonna say. Now I ain't changed nothing, but because we haven't been on here, I don't know. And the system that I use did capture system audio and sharing screen. It did do a update. So only thing I could think is maybe the I gotta do something else. And y'all know me, Echo. Y'all know me well enough to know I got on here and just said let's go and didn't think it. Can y'all hear? Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I wanted to share that with y'all. Oh, okay. Okay. Y'all don't know nothing about me. In order to avoid getting frustrated, I laugh because that's gonna be the thing that saves me from getting too angry. And it's my fault. So I'm not gonna blame nobody but myself because I didn't change any of the settings. I've left everything the same because we have figured out how to get it to work. Well, y'all know during the show, normally we were playing everything and it was you could hear everything. Um, so I didn't change nothing, but it seems as though maybe the update that happened that I did must have changed something, and I'm gonna have to take time when I have time to do it. So in the meantime, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and go over this save. I mean not the save actually, y'all. That's how y'all know I done got irritated. We're gonna go ahead and go over this agenda 47 and let's see if what it's about. Now hopefully you all can see that on the screen. Can y'all see it on the screen clear to where you can actually read it too? Please say yes. But don't say yes if y'all can't. Don't lie to me because y'all know I'm on the edge of about to lose it. I get y'all trying to save my life, but it's okay. I really ain't gonna go nowhere. I really ain't gonna give in. I ain't trying to go to the upper room yet, y'all. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay. So you ain't gonna be able to hear him, so ain't no need for me to play it because I don't know what's going on. But so we're gonna go over real quick agenda 47. And then I would love for you all, anybody that is in here, you to comment and say, you can say, put a check mark if you think it happened and a stop sign if you think it doesn't. So if you on your phone, if you got emoji for a check mark, you can do the check mark if you think that it happened. And again, remember, if you want to request up, I have it pinned. Do I have it pinned at the top? Yeah. Did it pin? Okay, yeah. I have it pinned. You can request up to talk about it if you want to. Okay, so it says, I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people. President Donald J. Trump. Too small to read? Okay, hold on. I got y'all. I'm gonna just put it over my face. How about now? Y'all ain't got to see me. I ain't that vain. Can you read it now? Can y'all read it now? Let me know if you can read it now because I want you to be able to see it. You don't have to necessarily see me. Like I said, I'm not tripping on that. Can you read it? Let me get that off. Can you read it? Mary? Y'all said no? Still? Still too little? Okay. What about now? Can y'all read it now? Still no? Is it filled up? Okay, let's see. I think I can see it too. How about now? Yeah. All right, got y'all. Okay, so we gonna just make sure y'all can see what Trump never said. And I want you all in the comments to please comment with me if you feel that this has been done. I want you to remember it's a check mark if it's happened and a stop sign if it hasn't yet. Okay. So it says, I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people. Now we understand we are about 14 months in. Do you all think he is in the process of restoring a government that's controlled by the people, or do you still believe that? Do you feel like Congress, the president, everybody but us is having kind of a say so Or do you feel like you are getting what you so far you feel like you're getting what you vote for? You can put yes or no in the comments for this. So if you feel like he has shattered the deep state, because I'm gonna tell y'all, I have I think it's a way for me to do my camera. Hold on. I have a person we were talking about, we're talking to, and they were saying that that they feel like Trump has gotten in, basically he is in with the deep state, and that he really hasn't he really hasn't changed anything, and he promised that he was going to be a certain way, but he is literally thinking about him and his rich friends, and he is doing everything. He is doing everything for his friends. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree with that? I, I don't think so. I don't feel I don't feel as though he is not doing what we voted for. I feel like the people who um feel that way are all people who didn't vote for him. You said exposure is stopping the deep state. Okay, so doing what doing what he's doing right now, you feel that is stopping the deep state. Okay. You said no. Mary, you saying no, he is not shattering the deep state. You don't feel like it's controlled by the people. You think you look, I feel like I'm talking to myself, y'all. I'm reading y'all comments though. Exposure stopping the deep state. Okay. So he said, so we're going to go to the next one. You said, Clean Out the Deep State has announced a 10-point plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption. So this is what President Trump said. I should have a way. He said on day one now, y'all, he reissued 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to fire rogue bureaucrats. Has he fired? Well, no, the people he's fired hasn't been, you think, um, rogue Democrats? What do y'all think? Um, I don't know. Who did he fire? I'm trying to think about outside of the people who didn't get their job done right, like Pam Bondi and Chrissy Noem. But did he come in firing anybody? Says think it's truly up to people to vote these individuals out of office. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Jerry. I agree, Jerry. Um I think that if we continue, because like they always try to say, they all are friends, they all actually are in with each other, and no matter what we say or do, they're going to keep them their friends in there and do what's best for their friends. So I guess I get that, and I actually agree with it. So I'm gonna say I'm not gonna even say 50% on that. I don't think 50% that, because I don't see anybody getting fired, and I don't feel like anybody that I want to go is gone, because they have done too much crime and done too many things, and I feel like it's too many of them still in office. So I'm gonna say no. But if you all feel different, you most definitely can say you feel different. You really can. You said, I feel he needs to do more of what he promised. Mary. Okay, Mary, what are you thinking? What do you feel he's promised that he hasn't done? What do you feel he's promised that he hasn't done? All right, so then I'm gonna go. You put that in the chat. I'm gonna go to number 2. It says overhaul federal departments and agencies, firing all corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you all. I feel like he's actually done that. What are y'all? You don't agree? I mean, not maybe everybody, but I do feel like he has gotten rid of a lot of the people. Because remember, didn't he get rid of a whole lot of FBI? Didn't he get rid of a lot of them, a lot of people in the DOJ? So I feel like at least in this first year, he's actually gotten rid of people in the national security and intelligence apparatus. Look at how he got rid of the guy Joe Kent really fast. Once we seen that something was up with him, even though he brought him in, I actually commend him for being able to make the decision, to get rid of people that he actually brought in. I think it takes a big person to do that, because a lot of times you don't want to do that because you're embarrassed that you made the decision. And that's one thing we know about Donald Trump. He don't have no problem firing nobody. So I actually am pretty happy with that. I really am. Let's see. Okay, so the next one we have, it says number 3, fundamentally reform FISA courts, ensuring that corruption is rooted out. Now, I actually was watching a hearing the other day, guys, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know what no FISA is. So I wasn't sure what they was even talking about. But I was watching the hearing, and I did I guess kind of hear them. Let's see what the heck is FISA. Let's see. Since it ain't gonna show that. Hold on. What is FISA? More of us, the American people, stop letting these Democrats tell him what to do. You think he letting the Democrats tell him what to do, Mary? Do you? Oh, okay. FISA means Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. So what was that? Congress will soon vote on a reauthorization of surveillance authority known as Section 702, which is set to expire April 20th. Although Congress passed the law to facilitate surveillance of foreigners overseas, the government also uses Section 702 to spy on Americans, a practice that has resulted in widespread abuses and made the law deeply controversial. The upcoming reauthorization is an opportunity for Congress to enact long overdue protections for Americans' privacy. I actually did see this, guys. I did. They're doing hearings on this because this is when they were actually spying on this is when they were talking about they were spying on what's this? I'm sorry. They were spying on the Congress people, congressmen and congresswomen. I didn't even know. So let's see. It says Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act authorizes the government to surveil foreigners located outside the United States. Intelligence agencies identify foreign targets for surveillance and direct U.S. companies like Google, AT&T, and Verizon to turn over the target's phone calls, emails, and text messages. The government does not need a court's approval to target a particular foreigner. Instead, a specialized court called the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, also known as FISA Court, approves general producers for the surveillance on an annual basis. Okay. Well, I don't have a problem with them looking at foreigners, but let's see what was going on. Okay. Says while the government cannot target Americans for surveillance under 702, the surveillance incidentally sweeps in Americans' communications in large volumes. Because Americans communicate with foreigners overseas, and because targets themselves need not be suspected of any wrongdoing. Hmm. It's what you say. I feel he needs to do. Okay, you said more for us, the American people. Stop letting these. Okay, I just seen that. Okay, so it seems like to me what they're saying, and I think that's what they were saying in the hearing, was that they were actually spying on us, and what was happening was because if you talk to somebody overseas, because that person was overseas, it was allowing them to actually it was allowing them to actually tap our phone conversations too. And I know I ain't for that. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't for that. I'm just saying. All right, so that says reform. So they are working on that. So we can say, so I'm gonna say number one. I'm gonna say number one, I'm gonna give it a stop sign. Number two, all the word all is in there. So I'm gonna say stop sign too, because that ain't done. And then fundamentally reform the FISA courts. I do know they're working on that, so I'm not gonna say that that's a stop sign. I'm not gonna put a check either. I don't know what to put. What we put when we say 50-50. Or they almost there because he ain't did it. Um, so I'm not gonna say that. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So now we got 4. Says establish a truth and reconciliation commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and abuses of power. So how about we do this, y'all? This is gonna be fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste each of these things into ChatGPT. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT, have these things been completed? Would these things be considered complete or almost regarding Agenda 47? Okay. Would these items on Agenda 47 be considered complete, not started, or work in progress? Here we go. That way we ain't got to judge because we don't know everything that's going on. All right, so let's see. We're going to go with this one first. Let's see what ChatGPT got to say, y'all. Oh, with these on Agenda 47 be considered complete, not started, or work in progress. Establish a truth and reconcile. Okay. Well, what y'all think ChatGPT gonna say? Y'all think this was done? I'm about to say I just don't know much about this whole deep state thing. So I really can't answer none of that because I really don't know. I can't answer none of that because I really don't know. But let's see. Okay, it says I'd mark this one as work in progress, not complete. More bluntly, the broader effort started, but the specific promise as written has not been fully delivered. Why? Trump did issue actions aimed at the same subject matter on January 20th. So soon as he came in, he signed an ending the weaponization of the federal government, which ordered reviews of alleged past Last past misconduct by the DOJ, intelligence, and other agencies. The same day, he also signed restoring freedom of speech and ending federal censorship. Well, he need to talk to goddamn TikTok, because TikTok ain't listening to none of this. Because they censor my speech every day and everybody else's. So I'm gonna say, like they said, work in progress. It says there was also later a White House memorandum targeting CISA's past conduct, calling for a comprehensive evaluation. Okay. It said, but Agenda 47 pledge promised Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying. So it's a work in progress. They said started, completed as promised, no. Formal truth reconciliation. Okay, so they say a work in progress. I ain't gonna get no answer because I ain't know nothing about that part. So I can't complain about nothing I don't know nothing about. Okay, let's try number 5. Number 5 says launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the media, create false narratives, pressing criminal charges when appropriate. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Let's see what they say. If you can tap, what I gonna say? Share. If you have not, all of y'all here, I know y'all subscribed already, so I appreciate it. I didn't want to do that. Let's see, y'all. It says, launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the media to create false narratives, pressing criminal charges when appropriate. Okay. Okay. No, has this? Oh, let me get this because see, Chat GPT, you gotta tell it a million times. Oh, I put it in the wrong one. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. I think I put it in my wrong one. Didn't I just? Oh, I did. Sorry, y'all. I put it in the wrong one. That's why it didn't give me the right answer. Ooh, I'm getting hot, y'all. And I ain't under but a little light. Let's see. Don't let me go back over there again. Hey, everybody, welcome in. If you are new in, we are literally going over Agenda 47. We have so many people who are complaining about what is going on right now in the government. A lot of people who voted for Donald Trump actually read Agenda 47. Some read some of it, some didn't read any of it, some read all of it. So we are going over to see if anybody get mad for nothing, if they should have read Agenda 47, or if we being let down. So we are going through each item. We are being cheaters and running it through ChatGPT and seeing if it seems as though the items are being done. So ChatGPT said this one looks like a work in progress also. Why? There's clear evidence the administration started acting on this promise. In March of 2025, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche announced a criminal investigation into what DOJ called a selective intelligence leak to the media, saying the department would not tolerate politically motivated leaks. The crackdown also expanded operationally. Reuters reported that in spring of 2025, agencies including the FBI, DHS, DOJ, and Defense Department were using or threatening polygraphs, leak probes, and other internal measures to identify people suspected of talking to the press. Reuters also reported, which we gonna take them with a grain of salt, that DOJ reversed the prior policy again and allowed prosecutors in leak cases to seek journalists' records and testimony. There's also been some actual leak related prosecutions during this period. The DOJ announced charges in April 2026 against a former Army employee accused of leaking classified national defense information. And Reuters reported that the case involved disclosures to a journalist for a book. Did y'all know about that? Hmm. Did y'all know? I didn't know about that. And this is just recently a Army employee. Mm. Okay. Well, I'll just tell y'all. I'm feeling a little good about what's been going on so far with Agenda 47. Mm. Let's go to the next one. So y'all, this will be good when y'all. I guess I have to be on other people's panels because that's the only way I ain't gonna get kicked off or get my stuff shut down. But this will be good. I know a lot of y'all don't come up and debate, but it's definitely gonna be good information for me and be good for y'all if you do go in. You said you didn't know. Yeah, me neither. First of all, that's crazy as hell that an Army employee and it was giving it to a journalist to put in the book. Now, these people crazy. I, I play with a lot of things, but I definitely don't play with the feds. I'm just saying, I ain't doing nothing. First of all, you got to serve too much of that time. And secondly, when they come for you, you know, chances are you ain't getting away and you ain't getting off because they don't come unless they really, 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 really got the information. That's crazy, y'all. Okay, so the next one was make every inspector general's office independent from the departments they oversee so they do not become protectors of the deep state. Okay, this one says not started. And honestly, the evidence cuts the other way. Ooh, they're saying they did the opposite. Since federal generals were already supposed to be independent and objective. Under this Inspector General Act, the law's purpose is to create independent and objective units, and many OIGs describe themselves that way already, with separate legal authorities, budgets, personnel, and purchasing authority. So for this Agenda 47 item to count as progress, you'd expect to see a new structural reform, making every IG office more independent from the departments they oversee. So this hasn't happened. I don't really know the purpose of it. I would love to see what would be the purpose. Let's see. I want to keep on the roll. What would be the purpose of this? I don't even know why we would care, but I guess it's probably something I just may not understand, which is fine. I don't understand everything, even though somebody told me yesterday and today. I think I know everything. Ooh. Somebody told me I think I know everything. Let's see. Okay, can y'all still see this big? All right, we down at number 7. Let's see. 7 is establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure that they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people. Now that would be good to know if this happened. They be spying on us, y'all. That's some crazy stuff. Let's see. Let's see if they say this has happened. Okay, so this says, check it. I'd rate this one not started either. So they ain't making sure we ain't getting spied on. Can y'all still see this good? Says I could not verify the administration created a new independent auditing system or to continually monitor intelligence agencies for spying on Americans or running disinformation campaigns. I checked the White House actions, Federal Register materials, and intelligence oversight site sources and did not find a Trump ordered enacted law or formal standing. So, what does exist is the older oversight structure that was already in place. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence says it provides oversight of the intelligence community, and the intelligence community has an inspector general. So this ain't started. It ain't a work in progress either. I need for them to get on this, y'all, because I don't need to be knowing or thinking somebody spying on me. They don't know what I might be saying, which I always talk as though y'all do that. I always talk like my phone is tapped anyway. I don't know what that is about me doing that. I'm just being honest with y'all. Hold on. I'm being honest with y'all. I don't know. I've always just functioned as though it was literally somebody always listening. And that could be the hood girl in me now, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. That's what it could be. Or it just could be I ain't stupid. Cause that also I ain't that either. All right. So that one ain't done. Number 8, continue Trump administration efforts move the Bureau of something. Something is missing. I don't know. Overlapped. Let's see. Maybe it don't know what the rest of it is. Let's see. Of Okay, it says this one looks like a work in progress. The promise says the promise appears to refer to moving agencies out of Washington, D.C. For the current term, the administration has clearly started pushing this again. On April 15th, Trump signed Restoring Common Sense to Federal Office Space Management, which says agencies should be where the people are, and removes older sitting rules that had pushed agencies to prioritize central business districts. The White House fact sheet also said the order was meant to let agencies move to lower cost facilities closer to the people they serve. There's also evidence of actual flow through, not just talk. GSA announced in March 2026 the key federal headquarter relocations were being carried out for the Departments of Energy and Education and the oh shucks. Hold on, guys. This is Stack. Yes, ma'am. All right. I'm on Proud Mary going over uh I'm on the YouTube. TikTok threw me off, restricted me twice. I ain't even say nothing. Mm-hmm. 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 Really? Right, right. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, come on here real quick, but I'm about to end in a minute. Mm, mm, hold on. I'm gonna send this to you if you feel like and request up. Hold on. You ain't got to turn your camera on. Come on here real quick, cause they want it. They want it. Right. Okay. Well, I just sent you that link. These people who want to hear your people's on here. Just come on. Don't come on the camera. Just click the link I just sent you. Okay. All right, sorry, y'all. That was Stag. She gonna come on. Y'all can't see me saying that, but y'all can see me saying that, but she got to come on. Let's see. I know y'all can't read, so I'm gonna make it big again. All right, so it says that this one is started, which we already know because he already had moved the Department of Education. Y'all know that. So that's a good thing that they did as well. Everybody has a problem with that. They think because he moved the Department of Education, that meant he was getting rid of the Department of Education, which I don't know. I mean, well, technically, I guess he was, but not all of the programs that are. All right, there she go. Hold on.
Hola.
Hey, Stack. Y'all say hey to Stack in the chat.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Bien, y tú? See, look at y'all know I think I'm Spanish.
Bien, bien.
Uh-huh. How are you? Welcome on the
Bien.
Valmary. Well, look, child, they've been with me. I think all our regulars are in here. But they've been with me, sister, cuz let me tell you, when I say TikTok, I kept going on there. They kept on kicking me out. Kept restricting, which was defeating the purpose, and the goal was to try to go over. They said, you see, let's see. I'm get to put the chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me put y'all comments up there so she could see it. I
I don't
told
know.
her
I
we
don't have
would.
my laptop with, so I can't see the comments. I'm about to log
Okay,
in
so
on there.
so
But let me
Jerry
drop it.
Mackey Jabbo said, "Hey Stag." Shaheed
Hey,
said,
Jabo.
"What's up, Queen
Hey,
Stag?"
Shahi.
Mary speaking Spanish to you. She said, "BNE 292 Stag." And and Maga says, "Sup, ladies." You know, AKA what's up. So we are going over what we doing is I'm going over Agenda 47 because everybody acting a fool and acting like they don't know what Trump doing. So I was like,
Right.
let's see if they read Agenda 47, if the things that's in Agenda, I didn't read it all. I'm not gonna lie. If the things that's in it, if they're being done. So what I'm doing is taking each number and running them through Chat GBT to compare what's been done what's not been done. So we were on continue to move parts of the federal bureaucracy outside of Washington, D.C. And that was like the Board of Education and something else. So let's
Hmm.
see this one. So we are now on ban. And then you can talk in a second, and then you can say what you got if you want to give anybody any updates or if you didn't heard anything new going on. We also was talking about earlier. You heard about that man that killed them 7 people in Shreveport.
Yes, those are 7 children. I saw the pictures of them. They were all his children.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
know
just
what I thought about
wild.
because that's where when I dip off by myself, that's where I go all the time.
Mhm. Mhm. That's crazy.
Ain't it? Okay, so we'll talk
That's
a little bit
crazy.
about some stuff. We'll talk about some current stuff now that you want here too. It says ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at companies they deal with and contribute. Oh, and regulate, such as big pharma. So the question is it done? Has it been started? Is it completed? Or is it in progress? So this one
Now, what
said
was that again? What was it again?
it was
Hold on, cause I got what it.
that's okay. To
Mhm.
ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at companies they deal with and regulate, such as big
Mhm.
pharma.
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
says, so they say it ain't started. And these links are from the White House. It says, could not verify a new ban that stops federal bureaucrats
Mhm.
from taking jobs at companies they regulated or dealt with, such as pharmaceutical
Mhm.
companies. I did not find a Trump White House order, new law, or government-wide ethics rule creating that kind of post-employment ban. In fact,
But you
one of
know
the
why it is important? I'm sorry.
go ahead. Why?
You know why? The reason why it's important is because you have these people who work at these pharmaceutical companies, the CEOs and all of that stuff, and then they'll move over into the FDA, and
Mm,
then they're approving their own drugs and things there,
mm,
and then moving back over into the company. So you had the
mm.
people who run the pharmaceutical companies running the FDA and the CDC and all of these places. And I think
Okay.
that's a big conflict of interest.
He said concepts of a plan. Man, it's funny. Yeah. Well, it says in fact the verified action points. He said points the other way. He said Trump revokes. It says Trump revoked Biden's executive order 13989, the prior ethics order for executive branch personnel. So they try to say he changed something. This is from the White House. It says OGE's public materials note that EO 13989 was revoked, and employees and former employees who signed that ethics pledge were no longer subject to it. That revoked Biden order was not the exact same thing. See, there you go. As the Agenda 47 promised, but it did impose added ethics restrictions on executive branch appointees. That really still ain't nothing to do with what this thing says. Because they keep focusing on executive branch. You realize that Biden's thing was directed towards the executive branch. It sounds like what Trump wants to do is says a federal bureaucrat is anybody, right? That's not just the executive branch, or is it?
A federal bureau. Yeah, that is the federal workforce, which he is what he manages. So
Right, but
anybody
not
working
just
in the
the
federal
executive
agency.
branch, though, right?
Oh no, 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 that is the executive branch. All those federal agencies fall under the executive branch.
So it wouldn't be like any Congress or
If you worked
representative.
in any federal, no, if you worked in
Okay.
any federal level agency, you can't then go and work for one of these pharmaceutical companies or work for a pharmaceutical company and then come and work in one of these federal agencies. It's particularly underneath the agency that policed your company, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what this is basically saying is Biden
Because you
has.
also have because you also have people who leave the DOJ and then
Mhm,
they go and work for big law firms. So while they're working in the DOJ, they make sure that prosecutions don't get doled out to them. They don't get fined. Like they sweeten up everything so that whatever they're doing, and then once they leave the DOJ, they go and get some cushy job at these law firms with some big bonus, which is really the payout for them
mhm.
uh, working things out for them while they were working in the DOJ. You see what I'm saying? So that happens in all of the agencies, not just the pharmaceutical agency. That's the
Right. No,
problem.
I just was saying because it was basically leaning towards Biden had something in place to regulate that. And then they're saying Trump came in and revoked it. But
I think
Biden's,
we need to go look at that regulation
let's see, yeah,
and see what it actually did.
yeah, yeah, I already know ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Because
Let's
they
see.
say that that's what they stuff do, but it be doing the absolute opposite when you get to reading into the details.
Let's see. That's right. Look, my chat GBT. No, I don't play. You see, it said not a fuzzy pair. It's tired of me saying, give me facts. Don't give me no give me some neutral, nothing left or right. Okay. So it says EO 13989 was President Biden's January 20th, 2021. So he did this as soon as he came in. Executive order titled Ethics Commitments by Executive Branch Personnel. So it required the executive branch political appointees. See, here go. You see all the little. It ain't everybody. Political appointees to sign ethics pledge aimed at tightening conflict of interest and lobbying rules. So it don't
Mhm.
compare because they say okay. So they trying to say that Trump came in and ended this, so that meant Trump really ain't doing what, because his pledge, you see, is to Trump's pledge was to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs. That would be everybody, right? This
Yep,
is
everybody. Biden said just people who appointed to put to positions.
right. And so he ain't
Mhm.
started it yet. So we know this is something that he gotta get on. Because I think it's important. I feel like it sounds like it's important. Cause that means you in the pocket of these people
Mhm.
and you can go back and forth. And ain't nobody
Mhm.
got time for that. Okay, let's see the next one, sister. Then we'll stop at this one and then talk a little bit about, since I got you on here, what's been going on, what you want to catch these people up on. I seen something happen too in Arizona with the voting stuff.
Mhm. I didn't get a chance to see that, but what I did see is that Joseph de Nova de Geneva, that's his name,
Mm-hmm.
uh, became like a legal counsel for the Russia collusion probe. And Joe, they called him Joe de Geneva, used to be a legal analysis on Fox News. Him and his
Mm-hmm.
wife, they both were on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think her last name is the same as his, but she had dark hair, older woman, and she's had a couple of I think position somewhere in the DOJ too with under Trump. But
That's a good question.
he is he is now going to be legal counsel for the Department of Justice dealing with the Russia probe.
Okay. Jabbo got a question for you, me, us. He says, so do y'all, I got that up. So do y'all think individuals was working for the Democrat Party? Was they installed to sabotage the Trump administration?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you have to think about the fact that we dealing with a swamp that existed before Trump showed up. And things were, moving and shaking the way that they wanted. And I like to and liken it to this analogy is that like say you, Mo, you become the manager of a business that's a part of a chain. So above you, you got your CEOs, your district managers, and all of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they appoint you to take over this specific location, and you go in and you start going through, of course, the books because you are responsible for the budget, the spending and stuff, and you start going through to see what's going on, what's in the stock room,
Mm-hmm.
how things are being accounted for, and you realize that hey, a bunch of the chickens is coming up out of the deep freezer and steaks is coming up missing out of the inventory. Nobody knows what's happening to them.
Mm-hmm.
And, drawers are coming up short and bank deposit drops are coming up short, right? So you start to implement policy to get a handle on that so you can find out, not only stop it, but find out how is it happening so you can prevent it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of these employees been working there all of this time, even under the last manager who knew all of this stuff was going on. They all been stealing the chickens and the steaks and getting the extra money and stuff. And now you come in and you trying to change stuff. What are they gonna do? They gonna try their best to get you up out of there. They gonna start complaining to the district manager. They gonna start complaining about everything that you do, the process. They gonna even start trying to say that you the one that's stealing everything up in there,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what is going on in our government. We have a whole bunch of people who have been working there for decades, who have been stealing from us, and full of corruption. And then you get a new sheriff come in, and he looking at things and saying, no, we can do better than this and be more responsible with the people's money and
Mm-hmm.
stop spending all this unnecessary stuff. Not just that, but they robbing the petty cash, spending petty cash on lunches and extravagant stuff, got the corporate credit card, and buying stuff for their house and everything with it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he coming in and he cutting off the credit cards, cutting down what they able to spend. They got to start keeping track of what they spending and where they spending it. And no, they don't like that. So now they want to get him up out of there. And they gonna tell anybody who will listen that he's the thief, he's the crook, he's incompetent and don't know what he's talking about. And they all gonna get
They the
together and come
crooks.
up with the same story and say, "Hey, no, this
Mm-hmm.
is the way that it's always been. He don't know what he's talking about. We do this way, so this is all balancing out over here. We don't know what he's talking about."
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have going on in our federal government.
But that's the thing. And then they try to play the mind game and keep repeating something to you so much so that they believe. I mean, which I guess we see people are believing it because they talking stupid, you know.
Hmm.
But you really have to be woke. I'm gonna say you have to be willing to listen to other people and be willing to unlearn a lot of the stupid shit that you didn't learned all this time, because that's a big part of the problem is people being afraid to learn something different. And that
There's another good analogy, and I didn't come up with this. This came from just a kid,
mm-hmm,
shy girl, that's her name now, right?
mm-hmm,
But she gave the perfect analogy. She said it's like you in a small town, right? And you got this stop sign that everybody just kind of run. And the sheriff who's running the town don't stop nobody. It's a small town, ain't a lot of traffic through there, so he ain't giving out tickets, right?
mm-hmm.
So everybody get used to essentially breaking the law and running that stop sign because ain't nobody getting tickets. But then you get a new sheriff that come in and he start writing tickets, and
Right.
y'all get mad at him because he's now just enforcing the law.
Right, because he doing his job. Because
Hmm.
he doing
And
what
you
they ain't
mad at
been
him
doing.
because now he is enforcing the law and giving out tickets that you know that you should be getting because you running that stop sign.
Hmm. I got you. I got you. All right, so we gonna get this set up real good. So we
Which is
gonna
what it is when you think about immigration law, because they weren't enforcing the immigration law, and now that he's enforcing the law, they acting like he the bad guy.
we're flipping the script. And then but then I'm thinking about when you say this, and when he asked, do you think it's anybody? I feel like even dude even though I know Trump hired him, because we was talking about that too. And I think the way he flipped so easily, I'm talking about the Kent dude.
Yep.
Uh, I feel like he was one of them.
Another one that go in that is just like once you come in and you go to take over this business, right? You don't know none of these employees. So you start looking to move people in position, and all you got to go on is what it looked like on paper when you put them in these positions. Not knowing that when these people get in these positions, they hiding the books from you,
Mm-hmm.
changing the numbers in the books because they covering for the old swamp people who been working there, right? They making it look like the drawers is balancing out, and they not. They making it look like the drops is good, but they not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they covering for the employees who already been there at your expense as a manager. Now you got to answer to your district manager why these numbers ain't adding up, and you can't figure it out. But it's the persons that you put in these positions that you did not know anything about them except for their resume on paper.
And you trusted them because see, that's the thing too. That's I feel like it's kind of what he was saying. You you have these people in here. I feel like you coming in or not. everybody, but he may come in a little naive, thinking that people are in these positions, and if they stayed around, it's because they were, if they were kept around, it's because they was doing the right thing. But I feel like you find out that that's 100% the opposite. They were doing.
Yep, they were kept around because they were helping everybody steal the money and stay
Mm-hmm.
hidden in the corruption. They was
Yep.
helping to cover up,
Yep.
which is why all of this fraud and corruption has been able to go on and permeate so long and get so deep and widespread in our system.
Hold on.
And we all hear it. They say people come to Washington with good intentions, but once they get
Yep.
there, they told by everybody else there, look, let us show you how to get money.
Yep.
Be
And they show.
quiet. We're gonna show you
Yep.
how to get money.
And that's exactly what the heck happens. Because
Hmm.
that's why they come in there thousandaires and leave out millionaires.
Hmm. And then they will start to do whatever it takes to keep the money train rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hold on, let's get this one. Let's see what this one was. Okay, it said, okay, put in, this is gonna be our last one, then we could talk about some of the stuff going on. Put in a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. So
And
let's
don't you?
see. I have to write the actual law for that to happen.
Hmm.
So they was quick to put term limits on everybody else, but you see, they keep ignoring the fact that will stop their money. But you see, it says this one is a work in progress. It says there has been a
Hmm.
real push for a constitutional amendment on congressional term limits, but it has
Yep.
not been completed. January
And that's
25th,
another thing that all of us want. All of the people
the
want that
people,
too,
yeah,
right? Just like the Save Act, we want it. We want them to have term limits.
the
Because
people
otherwise,
want
it don't matter who the president is. Those people in Congress just got to outweigh the administration and
it.
get their own
Hmm.
person in there, and they can go right back to their corruption.
Yeah, it says in January 2025, Representative Ralph Norman introduced HJ Res 12, a proposed constitutional amendment to limit House members to 3 terms and senators to 2 terms. By September 2025, Norman said the measure had reached over 100 co sponsors. That ain't nothing.
Hmm. Yep.
Uh, he said, yeah, that ain't
Because
nothing.
why they gonna limit themselves? Because that's where the power is in legislation. If
To
anybody
HR
should be limited in
965.
terms, it should be them. And really, I think that the founding fathers tried to limit them when he said that in the House you can only have 2 terms, and then you gotta rerun, right?
Right.
And they could say that for the president that they could have 4 terms, but then still 4 years and then still rerun. But no, they made it to where nope, he can't have no more than that. And that's why I think that 22nd Amendment is unconstitutional because who is Congress to limit the president's term? Who are they to do that?
Yeah. No, I understood exactly what you were saying. It was just, what I call the chaos agents that be are gonna always try to make something that ain't right make sense. It said that said, I could not verify the White House action showing Trump formally advanced this through an executive action or that Congress passed the amendment proposal. And because constitutional amendment requires 2/3 of both chambers of Congress and ratification by 3/4 of the states, it is nowhere near complete. Well, we know that they wasn't gonna complete
Yep.
that no doggone way. They
Hmm.
was not going. Oh, did I take it off? I thought I let y'all see. I had taken it off. Okay.
And I think that's what Trump was really saying when they had the conversation about him serving more than 2 terms or a president serving more than 2 terms.
Hmm.
Because I believe that if it did go through and was challenged and taken to the Supreme Court and argued correctly, it would be deemed unconstitutional because that wasn't the work of the framers of the Constitution.
Right.
They laid out clearly. And it is simply because the president is the only office where everybody across the country gets to vote. on who we want to sit in that seat,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if we the people decide that we want him to serve 30 years, then that's what it'll be. Because that means that we're happy with his governance.
Yeah, that
And
was it.
when we're not, we cannot vote for him.
That was my point. I was like, really, when you really think about that, that don't make no sense. Why would you tell the people they can't have who they want
Hmm.
because you feel the
Because it
person
ain't
been president too
Congress want.
long?
They want that person limited. They want a Donald Trump limited to them only having to deal with him for 2 terms.
Who was president when they thought this? When the 20 is it 22nd Amendment?
Roosevelt, Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, I believe.
And because he had already was in his third term, correct?
Yep, yep.
And he was a Democrat.
I want to say yes.
So I wonder who pushed for that.
Let's look. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, let's
Let's see.
see who pushed for the who pushed for. I had looked it up when we was arguing that day for the
And
past.
you see, they still found a way around their term limits because I really do believe that the Constitution meant that in Congress they could only serve those 2 years, and then they need to go home. And in the Senate, they were only meant to serve that 6 and go home.
Let's see. Let's see when the people.
Because that's how you get fresh ideas in is when new people come in and they say, okay, this is not working, and they from the, the civilians, they come in and they work in private business, say, okay, this legislation is not working, let's tweak it a little bit, this is the part that need to be done a little better, you know.
Mm-hmm. Let's
But
see.
that's not what they're doing. They up there making new laws and restrictions on you, the citizenry.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to figure out ways to keep taking rights away from you and
Look,
limit your power.
I'm finna share this so you can see if. Oh, you said you're gonna be able to see it, but I'm gonna let everybody else see it. Hold on.
I got it. I got you up on the other screen. I'll see it.
Okay, you see what it say? The main
It's a delay
push.
over here. So let me see.
You can see it?
Yeah, now I see. Yeah.
Okay. The main push for the 22nd Amendment came from Republicans in the 80th Congress after Franklin D. Roosevelt, a Democrat, had been elected 4 times. The House's own history says Republicans won control of the Congress in 1946, and the 80th Congress quickly sent out the amendment limiting presidents to 2 terms.
And he was probably putting forth a whole bunch of trash legislation, but I still don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't. Says the House sponsor, because I asked this too. The House sponsor was Representative Earl C. Mishner, a Republican from Michigan who introduced H.J. Res 27. Review of the congressional history notes that his resolution passed the House in 1947 and that the measure was largely viewed as a Republican backed proposal, though it got some bipartisan support. So I had asked how many votes did it receive. It was pushed mostly Republicans, largely reaction to FDR's 4 elections. Uh, let's see. I want to say what was the vote total. Was he known for being a good president or bad? I don't. Do
Bunch
you
of,
know?
I believe that he introduced a whole bunch of social programs.
Mm,
I believe so.
okay. MAGA said they did it because the Democrats had the White House for a long time, but yeah, it's still not constitutional.
Mm-mm.
But I started laughing when I seen it because I'm like, boy, that show politics though. And everybody will say, like, oh, y'all can't say the Republicans. I'm like, well, no. They was tired of not being able to have
I
no
think that that
authority.
came around the time of the New Deal stuff and all the welfare programs, and that's probably why he kept getting
Yeah, I'm gonna
voted
pull it up and
in
see.
because
Oh, but
all of
look,
those welfare programs.
in the House, 238 Republicans voted yes. to it. Zero voted no. Democrats
And
47
that's what
vote.
it was. It was all of those social welfare programs.
Let's see what did was it FDR? Who was he? Who was he? Yeah, was FDR
No, I
presidency.
think it was Teddy Roosevelt.
No, it says largely as a
It was
reaction
FDR.
to FDR's four elections. Yeah.
Hmm. And they
Um,
kept expanding the social welfare programs, which kept getting them elected because it was, you had the Great Depression then and all of that. And so people was voting for the free stuff.
mhm.
And it was taking us into bankruptcy.
Let's see. See if that right. You know it was something. It got to be some.
Hmm.
Either we was giving up too much money, or yep.
And they was
Look,
trying to rein him in, and they passed an unconstitutional amendment
you see, it
because
says.
Democrats don't know how to act when they have power.
I asked him, was he pushing social welfare programs? Kay said, absolutely yes. Push social welfare
Mhm.
programs. That was a big part
See,
of
I
the
didn't
New
even have to
Deal.
look that up. I know that's what they was doing probably, and what was in response to. Like, oh, we got to stop him.
During the Great Roosevelt backed federal programs meant to provide relief, economic security, and longer term protections for ordinary Americans. Says the clearest example, I guess they started Social Security.
Mhm.
So it
And
seems
that was
like
when
they
black
probably
people
was
started. That's
okay.
when they, and that is when they started letting black people vote again in the South.
Yeah, I was
So they
about to say
had
it
that
seems
voting
it's
block too.
reading it, it
Hmm.
seems like they was okay with it. But then at the too many terms, and you that's all you keep pushing. They like, okay, wait a minute, we got a program. We got some programs. We need people to get self-sufficient.
Hmm.
Mm.
And it was hard to stop it because before that they had disenfranchised all the Negro voters, and that was when they let them re-register in the South to vote for him in the welfare programs.
Hmm. That's funny. You knew exactly what it was. You like some social programs. The Republicans don't want to give up nothing. And that's what they gonna say.
Mm-mm.
That's how they are today. So I asked
Not too
for
much of it anyway. It's a limit now. We ain't made of money here. Because you also have to think that that came off of the back of the creation of the Federal Reserve, them taking us off of the gold standard. So this put us into the debt with the central banking system. They
uh
introduced Social Security, all of that stuff that got us into this debt system that we in, where they can just borrow unlimited amounts of money and keep throwing us further and further into debt on the backs of us.
okay. It said, let me see. Because I'm sure it's also more. So you heard, did you hear about we blew out the engine on
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Trump said you bet not come through here. We said no. And we took their tanker.
Yeah, no.
Did you hear that too? The Marines boarded that tanker and took it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard. Okay, so look, Stag, I'm gonna get on. I just wanted to tell you all the ones that was started during his period. So you had the Social Security Administration Act, the Social Security Act, the Federal Emergency Relief Administration. Then you had the Work Progress Administration, Civilian Conservation Corps, the Civil Works Administration, Public Works Administration,
Expanded government. Hmm.
Tennessee Valley Authority created jobs and expanded. Then they did banking reform, Banking Act of 1933, the Glass Steagall Act.
Because
They
we
did
went off
that's
the gold, yeah. 'Cause we went off the gold standard, and yeah,
the
we had everybody
FDIC
turning
was
their gold.
created
Mm-hmm.
at that time. The AAA Agriculture, yeah, he was creating a bunch of stuff. The SEC was created at that time.
And them
No, he
Republicans was like, hold on a damn
right.
minute.
They like, wait a minute, Ninja. You is doing too much. We got to you can't keep being the president. But you know what's crazy though? But wasn't the people voting for him?
Mhm. Mhm.
So the people,
But again, much like today, dummies don't know what they voting us into.
yep. I'm just thinking about that though, but they all probably you got to look at what percentage of the people were actually on probably on the programs and stuff. So that will be okay. So but yeah, on the vessel. So
Mhm.
they supposed to be. So this is the latest from the inside. You know, I feel like I got an inside scoop. The latest is, our special envoy is on his way over there. I think they landed today to talk tomorrow. But for right now, ain't Iran ain't headed there. And the
How they
problem
gonna get there? I'm kidding.
used to there the problem the reason why is because it's still so much infighting. And so the people who are like the foreign minister, the president, these people, and some people at the IRGC actually are like, look, let's talk, let's make a deal and move forward. And then some of them, which the military militant ones, is like they willing to just unalive, period. They like no. And so they are afraid of each other, so it's like if they come, which is the last time when they talked, that's why they couldn't make no deal, because they can't say something that they know, like now how they said the strait, remember he announced the strait was open. And the reason why it happened, because the ones that's the rebels, the IRGC that don't agree, they the ones went they little butt out there and pew pewing at, shooting at something and got drones.
Mhm.
So they can't, even if they make an agreement, at this point they're saying we don't we still won't know, like some of them ain't going to hold to it, long story short, because they don't have nobody to make them hold to it. So I
Mhm.
don't know.
So
And
you
then I
dealing with a
know us.
completely rogue
Hmm.
regimes, just rogue people over there.
Yeah,
They just
I was showing them.
no order.
Girl, they didn't got women joining. They got women
Mhm.
joining, and they getting put them in pink jeeps, and they ride through the streets there. Girl,
That's a
I wish,
Barbie Jeep.
yeah, riding with big missile guns on it, and they just ready. Then they was having them sign up, because people, because the people going after them and they taking them out. They the women signing up. It was so funny because they got cardboard image. You know, you had a little the image of a person, but it's a cardboard picture of them. They got the people, the
Mhm.
women was signing and then saluting to the cardboard image.
Mhm.
Now the crazy part about it is I'm laughing, but them people crazy. And so
Mhm.
I don't really know. And I know us, we don't try to just take out people. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm. Not civilians, right? We try to eliminate
Yeah. And so
civilian casualties.
that I feel like that's gonna be like we're gonna have to be some lunatics too.
Yeah, and they
Eh,
pushing them to it.
yeah, and not care, in order to make them go ahead and realize you can't win. You can't
Mhm.
win. I'm just like,
Yeah, you can't break even and you
you
can't
can't
get
get
out
it
of the
to
game. You
the
can't win,
win,
child.
child. I bet they just laughed at us. We are silly, y'all. But oh yeah, yeah, Maggie. He said they asking
That's
for.
my song.
I
Pure
know.
Fury too. Yep.
And
Yep.
you know what that is, just because we old. Old people always bust out in the song to match something they didn't heard.
That's
Um,
my song, boy.
yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie. I was watching in Society Day. But yeah, so now he said we will go after the power plant and the bridges. I hope that would be enough. But do you see them
Mhm.
people had their kids and their wives surrounding the power plant holding hands?
Because they made them. The IRGC made them go out there and do it. They didn't
But
have a
they look
choice.
happy.
They better look happy.
Them people crazy.
They better look happy. It's just the way that that IRGC, they better look like they happy to stand around them things because they're gonna get picked off by them if they don't.
To take your
They
children, no,
better, you
that's
better
crazy.
do this propaganda.
They had babies and everything. Too. All I know
Hmm.
is they better not play with Trump. Now Trump, they said Trump was a little frustrated because they had kind of floated with them when they went and talked last time about a 20-year thing about no enriching. And he said, I said no enriching, period.
Right,
A- And
right.
I feel like if he does or is willing to negotiate, I don't think it's gonna be less than 40, 50 years.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go over there and take what they got. So you try to and start from scratch. That's what you can do.
Right, right. They would have
Go
to.
get some more material. Go find some more material and start from scratch because we taking whatever's here.
Oh, you gangster. Listen to you. Get break yourself, fool.
We
That's what you gonna
taking
say.
whatever's here. Yep. We're gonna send in them
Yeah.
special forces. They're gonna go get whatever they got over there. Now y'all go find some more material and good luck with it getting over here without us knowing about it and start from scratch.
Yep. Yep. No, but I still feel. Well, I guess, well, then, no, because technically, we're going to be surveilling them. But if you make them
Mhm.
sign to at least 40 years, they can't move to make no moves to do it. Else, at this point, I know they supposedly quote unquote need it for their energy, you know, but they just some
Hey,
liars.
let me tell you what's going around. I seen it on X and this makes sense. That uranium that Hillary Clinton sold to Russia, right? If they
Hmm.
test that uranium that's over there in Iran, are they going to see that Iran used that money that Obama gave them to buy that uranium from Russia? Are they going to see that that's that same uranium when they test it? And if it is, then that proves that they sold that uranium to Russia because they said it never left our homeland. That's what they told us.
Hmm.
And I've been telling y'all I have a receipt in one of my laptops that shows otherwise because it was approved by Maxine Waters when she was the head of the finance committee during that time. She approved it. It did leave our soil, even though they lied and said it didn't, which means they sold it to Russia and then Russia sold it to Iran after Obama gave them the money to buy it.
Yeah, they was talking about that too, talking about some, and then he supposed to get him 20,000. I said, did y'all listen? What he said, ain't nothing gonna exchange hands. We've been blocking their money now for this period while we're going on. I said, listening to him, if y'all know how to listen, it sound like he gonna allow them to have some of their money we've been holding, stopping them from getting, but he
Mm-mm,
ain't giving them none of our money.
mm-mm. No, no, he
And
better not get them that money neither, so they can start funding proxy wars again.
well, no, no, it
No,
ain't no real amount because it's only just based on what we've been holding up from them making on their
they
oil.
better start from scratch, and they shouldn't have did all this stuff that messed up their oil supply. That's what they should. And good luck making the money that you was making. Now that everybody buying their oil from the United States of America. Good
Ooh,
luck.
who's
It's gonna
that?
take you a long time to earn enough money to run your country and try to work on a nuclear program when we get done with you. Start everything from scratch.
And build
That's
all that back up.
I'm
They
telling
don't.
you, they lucky that I ain't the president because they would be mad at me. You think the left losing their mind now over
That's
Trump?
that's why can't no woman be president. That's what they trying to say.
They wouldn't get nothing. You hear me? Nothing. And I'd had drones over there picking off everybody in that regime. Oh, you don't want to negotiate? Okay. You know, we had shotgun weddings over here. Let me show you what a drone negotiation looks like.
Stag, stag. You can't. I
That
mean,
drone will come right up and ring their doorbell.
we didn't hit none of
DoorDash.
their houses and all that stuff. I mean, so they really living the same. They just, I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been under my watch. It would be a drone right at their
That's why can't
doorstep
no
ringing the
woman be
bell.
president right there. Cause see how you ready to take everybody out.
I sure am.
We need a
Everybody but the
rational
civilian.
men.
I would send out a call. Civilians stay in the house. And any of y'all that don't want to get taken down with the regime, go home. Because we coming to the royal palace. Ding
Ooh,
dong.
Did this sucker say ding dong? You guys gonna ring their doorbell and say,
Yep, with a drone. We're gonna push it right up to the doorbell. Ring. And when he opened the door, we coming in, drone fly right on through there. Get
okay,
everybody.
let's see. I think I wanted to.
DoorDash.
What'd you say? I think I wanted to do something too. So what else we got? What else you didn't heard going on before we wrap it up and get on out of
Hey,
here?
it's gonna have the agreement attached to the drone for them to sign, and when they don't sign, that's it. We ain't playing no more.
I'm so glad. I'm glad. I didn't
And
give
it
it
wouldn't
one.
be emotion. That would be logic. I would be a good president because I wouldn't be moving on emotion. I would just be moving on. I'm not gonna play around with you. We're not about to play these games.
No game plan.
And they can chalk up any money they think that we got, chalk it up to the cost of this right here. You owe us.
Stag.
This is our money now.
Oh my God, Stag.
Yeah, you making us spend all this money for something that you should have just went on ahead and did, then you owe us that plus interest.
Let's
The
see.
way we see you owe us money now, right? You done depleted that money and now you owe us money. And we gonna need that in some barrels of oil.
Well, that's what everybody's saying. The only reason why y'all over there, well, y'all, we over there
Hey,
anyway.
whatever. Whatever. To the victor go the spoils. We gonna need that interest in them barrels of oil.
Okay, look, I'm on.
That's what we gonna need.
What? Okay, could you hear that?
Hear what?
Was you able to hear that sound?
No.
No. Okay. I didn't sit here and did something and don't know how to. You remember how I was able to, everything was working good or whatever, and I ain't messed with it, of course, since we oops, what? You can't hear that?
Barely. I hear you
Okay.
trying to do something. I
I don't
can't
know
hear
where
it.
it's at now. Hold on. Okay,
You
there
gotta
we go.
turn the volume up on. Hmm.
It was loud to me. I just, whatever reason, it ain't doing. I'm trying to save it. Let's see. But so I don't see nothing else going on with let's see if it's there. Nothing else going on with like I said, they got something going on with the elections with something happened with Arizona and they said the FBI. They did mention
Hmm.
that. And then I think nothing is with going on with Fonnie. I think everybody now is just so enamored by the the war right now, or the non-war, the what you call it, the
Didn't I tell you I
conflict.
think that he distracting them from something?
I feel like it too.
Because did you see that Marco Rubio said anybody who is in an adversary country are they can't come here. And he denied citizenship requests for like Ellen DeGeneres, you know, them celebrities that left, and then they couldn't get citizenship in them other countries. He said they're the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of his list for getting reentry back into the United States.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they get. That's exactly what they
Anybody
get.
who is from a country that is an adversary and does not want to negotiate with the United States are no longer allowed in the United States.
Look, I ain't gonna say I blame them because right now at this point we don't really know what's going on,
And that's
and
how we keep sleeper cells out.
yeah. And I was saying we always too willy nilly free with everything. And then listening to a lot of people that I talk to, like or listen to today, and the way they just like, why do we have to keep? And we are not the police of the sun, and we can't. We you could just leave people alone. We like,
We ain't trying to police the world. We're trying to police the United States.
but do you live?
Top
How
down
long you
security
been
around
living?
these kids.
How long have you been living though? Like real talk. If you've been you know if the people that's sitting around and not exercising and showing people they don't play, them the ones that get ran over.
Hmm.
Then something happened. Something happened in the UK recently. Trying to think
Hmm.
about what it is, but it's something that happened. Yeah, something just happened with them. Then I was on the live and this this guy came over here. He was like America, but he was from the UK and whatever. He was telling us about it. I said, we gonna get it. And we don't know why we think everybody's scared of us. And that's why don't nobody like us. And we don't they country better. I was like, well, guess what? All y'all gotta do is stop begging for our money and stop needing our
Hmm.
military and it'll be fine. You
Yeah,
ain't
you
got to
can't be in
need
our
us.
pocket and then tell us to mind our business. It
Yeah.
don't work like that. You want us to
Fool.
mind our business, get out our pocket.
Well, Stan, because you didn't I've been on an hour and 40 something minutes. I don't know if you got it in you. If you got anything you want to let off your chest, I know you probably could have a reason to. But if you don't feel like you could, we could go ahead
I
and
don't, cause I can't, get my
can't get
emotions.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so let's not and I'm gonna I am gonna do a Mo's Money Minute, but I can tell you guys all this gonna be really, really, really quick. So it's literally gonna probably be only a minute.
Are we
So
gonna
it
do an after show or did you already do your
yes,
own
yes. No,
minute?
we can go because we just gotta. It ain't gonna bother me. I can't use this. I guess I can't just pull up that thing I was pulling up. So we're gonna do
Hmm.
Mo's Money Minute. And here's a tip. Somebody asked me this today, so I'm just gonna quickly share it with you. We are in April. It is April the 19th. If you are on a job where you are getting paid in a W-2, a tip on how to bring more money home with you, thanks to the one big beautiful bill. Go tomorrow online, however you can, fill out a new W 4 form. Officially, it would probably say 2025 on it or 2026. The newer W 4 forms are going to allow you to be taxed in the current tax bracket, understanding about the overtime that is not taxable up to a certain amount, understanding about the tips. And so now, when your paycheck, because there are people who get W-2s, and of course, they definitely do overtime, but there are people who get W-2s and also get tip income. Now, when you have that new form filled out, it would allow you to be taxed appropriately so that you're not waiting for those monies at the end of the year, like the way it's set up to do it after tax. You can set up everything to where that first 12,500 for for overtime, it won't be taxed. And then those tips up to 25,000 won't be taxed either. New W-4 form, you can go exempt as well. If you, depending on what you make, if you make at least, if you don't make more than $5,000 a month before taxes, you are able to go exempt for a maximum of 3 months. What that will mean is you are preserving the standard deduction of the taxable amount, which is $16,200 that you don't have to pay taxes on for the first amount. So you're allowing yourself for that 3 months to take your standard deduction in your paycheck. Only thing with that, I recommend do not forget. So if you were to go Monday and put in to go exempt, you make less than $5,000 a month, you go in and go exempt for 3 months, set an alarm for 3 months from now to put your W-4 form back to what it should be. If you want to know what it should be, you're not sure, I have an app in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple iOS store called Ask Mo. Mo knows, and it gives you exact step by step on how to fill out your W-4 form properly, along with other things that I are in my area of expertise. So hopefully that's that tip. Now, mind you, if you're someone who makes over $5,000, quickly, you can go exempt. You just cannot go exempt for any time longer than earning over $16,000. So if you make $7,000 a month, that means you can go exempt 2 months. If you make $16,000 a month, you can go exempt 1 month only, and then you need to go ahead and set your W-4 form back up. This has been Mo, and this has been my Mo's Money Amendment. And remember, you cannot fix what you won't face, and you cannot change anything that you don't put the effort into to change. So hopefully this information helped you. Share it with somebody, and definitely make sure you send them to the Proud Mary podcast to watch our episodes, and definitely subscribe. All
Now, can I
righty.
can I ask you a question in your expertise there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would, if they do take your advice, they will see real wage increase, correct?
Yes.
Real wage increase and therefore bringing home more of their money
Money.
and not
Yes.
waiting for it at the end of the year. Bigger
Yes.
paychecks, people. Bigger paychecks. Okay.
Which is the point of the one big beautiful bill. Um, you're really in the thick of it now because we're in 2026. They've changed the forms, they've done everything. So now you'll actually be able to really, really see how it affected you. Because of course, people like, "Oh, I only got an extra $500 or whatever." And it's like extra is extra. But all
Hmm.
right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for coming with us, coming, being here, all of our regulars, of course. We got to come up with a name for y'all since we proud Mary. We got to come up with something for our regulars, I call VIPs, but we need a good name
They the
for them.
rollers.
That's
Rolling on the
oh
river.
yeah, that's cute. All right, so we're gonna give it to y'all right now. So to all our rollers, to our proud Mary rollers, thank y'all for coming here. Anybody who is new, make sure you
We
subscribe. Make sure
rolling on the river with
yes,
us.
yes, 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 yes. Make sure you share out. Um, we had changed and said from every Wednesday we were going to go to Friday, but right now we still got some things going on. So all I just say is make sure you hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when we go live, whether it be on Wednesday or whether it be on Friday or on the weekend. We just got it both. Of course, we're two people, so we're trying to make sure, and we work well together. So we want to make sure that we pick a day that is going to be beneficial and conducive to both of our schedules. Okay. So again, everybody, thank you so much for watching and coming in on and joining us on the Proud Mary podcast, where we give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must. I am Monique J, and this is
92 Stag.
God bless y'all. See y'all later.